And we're back once again, only on It's After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel. Now, joining me here on location, she is back. It was a wild whirlwind trip in Vegas. There was some issues with travel, issues with tickets, but at the end of the day, like every successful businesswoman, she made everything happen and did it with a plum. Like the sexy, the beautiful, the sweet Southern belle herself, Latina. It's none other than, that's right, Miss Adeline Star. So Adeline, start off here with, tell us about the Vegas experience. It was something I heard out of Girls Gone Wild meets Leaving Las Vegas meets sort of road trip.
Yes, for sure. It was super exciting. It was fun. Um, it was my second time in Vegas. My first time in Vegas was for my shoot for Brazzers. And that I was only there for a few days just to shoot and back. I didn't even get to go like see the strip or anything. So this time it was a lot more like it felt like my first time in Vegas, you know?
You get to Vegas, and as you said, you're nominated for stuff. You know, you're there, and all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, you don't have a ticket for you." How
Yeah.
frustrating is that sometimes when it's almost like you had to adapt to the situation? Like, oh, okay, no ticket, I got to purchase a ticket. Didn't expect that. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, I heard there was like a 6 hour line for testing. Like, how much of this was like for you? Like, okay, it's just I gotta roll the punches. It's a crap show. What can I do?
Yeah, I mean, so I'll tell you, some of you may have seen it on my Twitter for my Twitter followers. But I drove to Vegas from Texas to Vegas. It was about a 21-hour drive. And I'm driving and I'm like I'm like, okay, we're getting closer. I'm about maybe a little over halfway there. And I was like, okay, I should start getting all of my passes in order, start just getting everything situated, right? And my partner had their ticket into the Expo Pass. And I was like, oh, maybe it'll take a couple days for mine. But like I said, here I am halfway to Vegas. I don't have a ticket into the expo and I didn't have a ticket to the award show. So I was like, oh my gosh, like let me get on it. So I started emailing people and it was I felt like I was on this crazy quest, right? Of trying to get everything in order. And long story short, I was able, Chatterbait, that is a company that I cam for. I started off as a cam model and I still cam to this day. And so Chatterbait, they were able to get me a pass into the expo because they are amazing. And then, but as far as the award show, they didn't really have anything to do with the award show. And so they said I would have to contact AVN directly. So I contacted AVN directly, and they had said that they posted a link on their Twitter for nominees to RSVP. And I didn't know, I didn't really I get on my Twitter, I post sexy stuff, I engage with my people, and then I hop off. So I don't really, I wasn't following as avidly as maybe I should have. But anyway, I wasn't able to get my my ticket into the awards show. And so that was a really big bummer after, I'm nominated. I drove 21 hours to be here. And it's my first AVN nomination, and to not be able to walk the red carpet and go to this award show that I'm supposed to be a part of. It definitely was a bummer, but also at the same time, like you said, it's like rolling with the punches. Thankfully, I have a high level of resilience and adaptability. So I just was like, okay, we still have to like make the best of it and keep moving, you know?
The news is, well, as you said, you got a lot of work done there. So how nice is that sometimes when it's like, okay, this happened, but at least I made some money. At least I can go home and it's, you know, for you, you came out, you broke even.
Mm-hmm. It's not even that I broke even. No. A lot of what some, people don't understand is a lot of this work is it is a lot of upfront cost, a lot of investment, right? So I drive my 21 hours and I'm like, okay. And I ended up being a day behind, just because of my own doing. And I was originally going to get in Tuesday, or, get in Tuesday morning and test, but I didn't get in till late Tuesday night. So I ended up having to go Wednesday to go test. And TTS, Talent Testing Center, had been closed for a few days because of the holidays and then reopened. So Tuesday I heard was like insane, right? Like some people said they waited 7 hours. It was crazy. And so for me, I ended up having to go on Wednesday, and I got there and I waited about 5.5 hours to get tested. And there are a couple new testing protocols. And so that kind of increases the expense of testing now. So that was, so not only did I have to, we drove, I waited 5.5 hours to test, and then I paid a lump sum of money to get tested. And then now I can work, and now I can do everything that I need to for there. And so it was great though. I didn't have a bad time. It kind of felt like a 5.5 hour date with a whole bunch of other people in the industry. I made good friends with about 3 other models. Someone brought us hot cocoa. So it was fine. I wasn't like a terrible, miserable time, although it was 50 degrees outside. And for this Texan, that is like freezing. Okay. I love the warmth. It gets like 70 degrees here and we put jackets on. Okay. Um, so 50 was pretty cold. But like I said, someone brought hot cocoa. And so whoever that was that brought hot cocoa to all of us models standing in line waiting to be tested, much appreciated.
So I guess my question is, and I know you were probably asking this, why did it take so long? And how frustrating is it now when they want more tests? We got to pay more money, but it's like, okay, it's great. AVN, I will probably make that back because there's a couple of jobs you probably shot. If you're doing content trade, though, you're screwed. It's basically you're looking around going, okay,
Was speedy. I was in and out, but there were so many people. There were easily 20 to 30 people ahead of me once I started counting. And when I got there, I didn't bother counting, but it was a considerate amount of people. And with the new testing protocol, now everyone has to do a certain kind of swab. So you do a mouth swab and then you do a rectal swab. And I didn't know that I would have to administer that swab myself. And so that was pretty interesting. And so you'll have to kind of take into consideration, not only are they drawing blood, they're doing urine, they're doing now there's these new swabs. They do a throat swab, a rectal swab. And so it is an extra two steps for all of these people who may have not done the swabbing before. It was a new experience for me. I'm like, oh wow. So that's
here's the
my
life of a I was
yeah.
gonna say, here's the life of a content creator, which is AKA Adeline Star. You
Yeah.
shoot video, you got to edit the video, you got
Yeah.
to get the camera people, the lighting, you got to take care of your own makeup. People think it's
Mhm.
easy. Oh, I have an iPhone. I have a hot girl. I can shoot porn. It's like, no, 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 no. Those days were outnumbered years and years ago. How much work goes into just one video? Like for you, how tough is it just making one, let's say, 15, 20 minute clip?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, it's a lot of like I said, I live in Texas, and there's not a ton of content creators in my area. So going to these events is like very critical and paramount for me and my content creation, because that's where I get to connect with other people in the industry, right? So for me and most of my scenes that are with other talent, there's travel involved, there's the testing involved, there's makeup, of course. I saw some individuals in Vegas. Apparently, hair and makeup in Vegas is a huge, huge market for makeup artists and obviously consumers. But There were some places that were charging upwards of all the way to $500 for hair and makeup for someone to come to your hotel. So it's obviously hair and makeup involved, traveling, and then with all of these hotels, it's like, okay, does your hotel have paid parking? Where do I park? Do I valet? Should I Uber to whoever is hosting the shoot? And then it's also, are you going to have a videographer to film this for you? Are you paying the videographer, or is the videographer getting certain rights to your content for shooting you? So there's a lot of stuff that goes involved. And so when individuals, I think it's funny, they're like, oh, a whopping, XYZ amount for this video. Why is it so expensive? It's just two people fucking. I'm like, well, oh, I didn't know if I could say F word, but
Say whatever you want of the show, no worries.
okay, yeah, but so that's all of the stuff that goes in behind the scenes. So I hope that answered your question. There's a lot, and like I said, it's a lot of upfront cost with this industry, and or at least the level of content creation that I do.
So what do you look for? Because you get to shoot whoever you want. That's the good news of content creating. So is it a look? Is it attitude? Is it just personality? Like what is it? But when you're shooting for people, what do you look for, girls and guys?
For me, my personal, like, who I want to make content with.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So I do get a lot of collaboration requests. I get them out the wazoo. I even have an entire form on my link tree where people can go and submit their information if they do want to work with me, because that's ultimately how I got to where I am at, is, branding, marketing, and collaboration, learning from other models. So I enjoy collaborating because or at least you should grow from every collab that you do. But my criteria is, I always say, I need you to have a fan base of 10,000 or less. I mean, 10,000 or more. If you're below 10,000, then like, hey, do a little bit more perfecting of your craft, try and grow a little bit. And then we can, and then we can revisit this, right? Um, and then something I just like very clean look. And I've never been asked this question. Obviously, like, I've been asked collab, but as far as like image and stuff goes, um, definitely just a clean appearance, obviously talent tested. That is a huge one. It needs to be within 7 days. Don't come to me with like a 2 week panel. So ideally tested within 7 days, fan base of 10,000 or more, and just a level of professionalism as well. I'm ultimately a business person. I came from a business background, so I value people who can articulate themselves well. And I don't think it's a level of snootiness. I think it's hey, if you can approach me in a very professional manner, that gives me hope that you'll be able to market our content in a lucrative and positive manner, right? Like, I want someone who's going to be able to hype up the content in the video that we made together in a tasteful way. So yeah, that's my criteria.
So how tough is it for you getting enough money to do all this stuff? Because I'm guessing your plan this year is to shoot at Exotica. So you have Exotica Miami, Exotica
Mhm.
Chicago, Exotica New Jersey. That costs money. And as you said, it's easy when it's Vegas. You can, hey, get in the car, drive a couple hours. Tougher to do it when it's Chicago. Tougher to do it when it's Miami. Hell, about tougher to do it when it's in New Jersey. So for you, like, how tough is it, like, budgeting your money aside, making sure, like, okay, I sold this amount, I can go here, go sold that amount, go there, and all, so on and so on.
Mhm. I would say it's definitely, I'm at the point, so I've done my convention. I did, as soon as I started in 2021, and I started going to conventions as soon as July, Miami. And that was my first convention, was Exotica Miami. And that was a game changer for me. It was great because I was able to see, like, there are other people out there like me doing this for a living. And it was exciting. And so I've done Avian was my 7th convention, right? And I'm now at the point to where, okay, I've built my image, I've built a brand, I've built a level of recognition. Is it where I want it to be? Not completely, but it's there. And so this upcoming year, I think is going to be a lot more. I've built the image, I've built the brand, and now it's about honoring my fans and creating that, giving them something tailored, something, perfecting my craft. So this year isn't as convention heavy as it's been for the past 2 years. This year is actually about honoring the fan base that I've built, right? Because I'm such a terrible content hoarder. And so I have a ton of content that is unreleased, and I definitely want to get that sent out. I want to share it with everyone, but I've been on the go to all of these conventions for 2 years, to where it's all just like I have tons and tons and tons of content in my album. And now I'm like, okay, now we need to sit down and go ahead and pump all of that out. So, but to answer your question, as far as exoticas, yes, I recommend anyone who's looking as a creator to start attending exoticas. Budget yourself about $1,500 per convention. That's travel, that's respectable lodging, and just accommodations, right? And that's if you're a cammer. Now, if you're not a cammer and you don't cam with a company, or you don't have access into the expo, or you don't have your own booth, obviously you'll need to take into consideration passes to that, right? But like I said, I started with Chatterbait. I'm a cam model, and Chatterbait is amazing. They give you access to these conventions, and some of these conventions, the entry is $100 to $300 for the weekend. So just something to keep in mind. So if you're not a cammer, but you're a creator and you want to go to these expos, you might have to take that in consideration as well.
So what's on the bucket list for this year? Like, what do you want to get done? What do you want to do? Is there any, and that doesn't mean just sex. It could be like t-shirt, clothing, you want to travel. Like, what are some of the things you want to get done this year?
I definitely do want to start putting things in the work for a calendar for next year. That is something that I want, and I've been doing a lot more of photography, and I'm super excited to work with different photographers this year. Oops, sorry. Hang on. Let's put this on do not disturb. All right. So I definitely do want to do working with photographers, because up until this point, I've done a lot of like my own, just your phone, or, a few photographers here and there. But I do want more videographer content. I do want more of that. So really stepping up my content creation this year. And then, like I said, so calendar, working with different videographers, I'm super excited about. And then some level of merch. I definitely am really big on streaming. I stream on several different platforms, and it's getting to the point where it's like, what do I wear, right? And I love like branded t-shirts and stuff, but I want it to be, and I also have a ton of fake profiles out there. So I definitely want merch for myself to wear when I'm streaming. So when people are screenshotting or stealing my content or pretending to be me and saying like, oh, hey, this is me right now, I'm essentially in everything that I'm wearing when I'm streaming on some of these platforms. I do want it to say like Adeline Star, or some indication that it is me. So that is like one of my top 3 priorities within the next couple of months, is getting that merch underway, mostly for myself. And then of course I do want to offer that to my supporters and fans as well, and shoot more girl content, because I love women. I am bisexual. Lesbian porn is my favorite porn, and so to be able to kind of live out those fantasies that I've seen for so long is really exciting to me as well. So yeah, those are my goals this year.
There you have it. I give you once again the beautiful, talented, lovely. I give you its Adeline Star. Adeline, before I let you go, where can fans check you out at? Where is Twitter page, Instagram, the website? Where can fans hit you up at?
Yeah, absolutely. So my Twitter, that seems to be the most reliable platform right now, is at beauty_busty. That is my Twitter. And then you can also go to theadelinestar.com. That is my website. That is my OF page, theadelinestar.com. And oh no, I think it's just Adeline Star. There's no the. It's adelinestar.com. So yeah, or you can just Google me and find my Twitter page, and you can check out a few of my pro scenes that pop up whenever you do Google me. I have a Brazzers landing page on their website, so that should pop up if you want to check out my browser scenes.
Adeline Star, ladies and gentlemen, once again, always on a pleasure having her on the show. We come back. A lot more going on here, only on it is After Hours, only on the After Hours YouTube channel.